Hi, flower friends. Can you guys hear me? Hello, welcome to my porch. Okay. There are so many questions. It's insane. I have my coffee. Hi, Pam. I have my sparkling water. And I have tissues because you never know when that's going to happen. Hi, Debbie. Okay. Can you hear me okay? I've never used this laptop. Okay. So I think you guys can hear me because I see highs and hellos in a wave. Hi, Debbie. Okay. So I have so many questions. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through all of them tonight, but I'm going to stay on here as long as possible in order to answer all your questions. And some I just don't have the answer to. But before I get into any questions, I wanted to tell you guys that I got an email from Dr. Alan Armitage. She is the author of Specialty Cut Flowers. Hi, Lorraine. Hi, Diane. Hi, Nancy. And he wanted me to tell you guys that he got the books. They're in. They just arrived to his house Friday. He goes, just in time for the post office to be closed for Labor Day. So he's going to be getting all of those books into the mail to you guys early this week. So probably Tuesday will be the earliest you could do it because the post office is closed tomorrow. So anyway, your books are coming, and I'm sure you're gonna personalize all of them. So, oh my gosh, hi guys. There's so many of you. Hi, Lacey. Pam. Hi, Des. Hi, Sarah. Okay, questions. So the way that I have to do this is I started to write down questions earlier, and my hand got tired. I said, why am I doing this? Let me just reference the video and look at those questions. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to be bouncing back and forth. I have another laptop here with me, but it's being like super slow. So I'm going to try and do it right on my Mac up top. So I'm just going to go down the line. And I do have some that I'll be switching back and forth. There's some on Instagram and stuff like that. Okay, so questions. Newest first. Okay. So I have to go through these because a lot of you are giving your opinion on the hoop house peony matter, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Okay, questions. My question from Scarlett is how often and how often are you watering your flowers? Do you have an irrigation system? Okay, so when I first started out in the spring, I did not have any sort of watering system, and that was a huge detriment to the production of my flowers. Complete truth, I lost probably 50% of my plants that I started. So the production that you guys see me having is only about half of what I intended to have. There are dozens and dozens of varieties that I started from seed that I put into the ground, and I didn't have the capabilities of getting that far off my property to water them, that they just died. And that was a huge mistake for me, which is why we invested in the water tanks. And then the water tank system, we didn't get, I mean, you guys saw when that happened. It was midsummer. So it was after we had the 5-week drought. And so next year we'll have, a better shot at that. And I definitely will be putting in a drip system, like drip tape. I think I'm going to try drip tape instead of the irrigation hoses. It's a lot easier for like putting in and taking out. And it's also a lot more cost effective. It's not as expensive as the actual irrigation, more sturdy, heavy, like 3/4 inch or 1/2 inch piping. So drip tape, if anybody has any experience with drip tape, let me know, because that's what I'm looking at doing, at least for the dahlias next year. Make sure that they have a steady water, because I don't want to talk about my dahlias. It's I was walking through the dahlia field, and I don't even know why I'm calling it a dahlia field at this point. I was walking through the depression of dahlias, and all that I have producing are my pink pearl dahlias. That's why I brought tissues. And Alfred grill cactus, breakout snowstorm, and these are all like light peach and white varieties. And I had a couple of, do I have them? Yeah, it's right here. Sorry. Oh, like my first one of these today. Look how short the stem is. This is my life right now. 575 dahlias. Anyway, is that going to stop me from buying dahlias and putting them in the ground next year, or saving these and doing it again? No. Doing it, guys. Let me catch up on the comments over here. Hi, 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 hi. Okay. All right. So back to the question is, do I have irrigation? No. Do I have a watering system? Yes. With the water tanks. How often do I water? When I need to. I don't have it set up on a schedule. It's not drip tape or irrigation. So when we go 4 or 5 days with no water, I'll have Brad Pitt drive the trailer out and we'll set up. I have a battery powered pump and we just turn it on and I just water everything. And then we bought some sprinklers. So, and actually Brad did this. I had nothing to do with it. So Brad drove the trailer way back there to the wildflower field. He parked it, ran the hoses and put sprinklers in the wildflower field and let that sprinkle. You know, it's not, we weren't cutting anything from there. That was just for that. Yes, Old Reading Farm, 575 dahlias. And I had such high hopes because my dahlias last year were phenomenal. I just sent Gina a picture. Was it today, Gina? Gina, are you here, Gina? Gina, show yourself. She's here. She's here. She's going to message me on here. So I sent Gina a picture of my dahlia field last September 10th. It was so good. So good. I might be able to show you guys that picture. I don't know how well it'll translate. Where's my Gina? Gina? Where is it? Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. Gina and I send about 1,000 pictures back and forth. So I have to scroll through. All right. So there's a little bit of like, those were, whoops. Those were my dahlias last year and you can't even see it, but there are like a ton of dahlias on these stems. So it was just such a disappointment because I just had so many high hopes for it. But all right. I can't spend this long on one question, guys. I'll be here all night. I actually can't be here all night. So, all right, okay. Bradley Dean. Brad had a question about my lilies. He says, since lilies are a perennial bulb, obviously you want them to come back. But because you're growing them for cut flowers, how can you get them to come back? I'm not sure if mine are going to come back because they were stunted this year because of our weather. So I had to cut them all the way to the ground in order to get them tall enough for, I have props, guys. This was all the way to the ground. This is one of my rose lilies. I'm using it in a birthday bouquet tomorrow. Is it too dark? Let me know if it gets dark because I like to know if this is going to come back because that I read about, like read their stuff. You need to leave at least like 4 sets of leaves on the lily in order for it to come back. I don't know if that's fact. All of my lilies that I had last year, which I only had, this is only my second season in this house. So I only had probably 25 white eyeliner lilies last year, and they all came back. But they also grew 5 feet tall last year, not these. This is the full stem from the ground. So this is how tall my lilies were. You saw them in one of my videos, right? Right? Okay. Yeah, I want a tour of Gina's farm too, but guess what? Gina told me no. Gina, so she keeps telling me no, and I've never been to her. Like we send pictures back and forth all day long, and I've never been to her house until the other day. And she keeps telling me it's all weedy. I don't want to, it doesn't look good. I don't want you to bring your camera. I don't want you to do a video. I get there, and I couldn't find a weed. The only weed she has grown is frosted explosion grass, and I mean that's not really a weed, right? But she told me next year. Oh, Gina, there you are. Hi, Gina. It's Gina Labarge right there in the comments. That's my Gina. So Gina, next year, right? My coffee is not pumpkin latte. My coffee is half calf Folgers with a little bit of milk and a tiny bit of sugar. I had gotten off the sugar in my coffee, but I've got to sweeten it up somehow. I do enjoy a little bit of like that Italian cream stuff, like the creamer, but I don't buy it often. So I'm switching back and forth between all my drinks. Okay. Next question. Brad, I hope I answered your question. I don't know. I don't know if my lilies are going to come back because I had to cut them to the ground. Am I going to leave them in and see what happens? Probably. Yeah. Although, I don't know. I think I'm going to leave them in. Guys, I have a lot of stuff to dig up, and it's just me. I have thousands of glads to pull up, and I have 575 dahlia clumps. They're not just individual tubers. They're clumps. And so I have a busy fall. So the lilies will probably stay in the ground and we'll just cross our fingers. Okay, let's see. Emily, Carlotta is asking me about Flower Farm School. How did I choose? And a lot of you asked this question. You wanted to hear more about Lisa's course and if I knew about Florette's course, et cetera, et cetera. So I think I should answer one other question first. So another common question that I got was, how did you fall into this? How did this become what you wanted to do? And I don't know if I have a clear enough answer for that, because I feel like it was like a star, 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 and then all the stars shifted into a line like my bulbs, and it was just like bing. I feel in my heart of hearts, getting this house back after 21 years was meant to be. And one of my greatest memories from living in this house is my tree line. And I don't know if I did a video about this, but I think I recorded it and I never posted it. But the Dame's Rocket, it was one of my greatest memories from this property. And it's also known as Sweet Rocket. Like if you go to Florette's website, it's called, you buy it as Sweet Rocket. I know it as Dame's Rocket. People mistake it for phlox. It's my favorite thing in the world. Every time I would see it, I'd pull over and cut it from the side of the road, bring it home, bring it in. I would want it in my face all the time. My parents used it in their wedding. They got married when I was a kid. I think their anniversary was June 7th. And that's what we had blooming here. And they got married in the neighbor's backyard. So I am connected to this property. So I just felt when I got here that this property had a bigger purpose. And it was all of my previous jobs, all of my life experiences from broadcast journalism to I've been an organic gardener organic gardening I've been doing since probably the last 10 years. I've had big vegetable gardens and flower gardens. And then like if I look back on like my Instagram and my Facebook page, I'm always posting about like what seeds I'm ordering, what catalogs I'm getting. And if you look back, I've just been doing it for so long. And I was sitting here one day in my sunroom with my husband. We were stocking. And I'm 100% sure, but I think it was a Brex catalog. And it came in. And the cover was this strip of red tulips. And I just looked at my husband and I showed him the catalog and I said, I want to do this here. He's like, what? I go, I don't know, but I want to fill this hill with flowers. I want it to be a flower hill. And that's where Flower Hill Farm, that's the day it was born. And so this was 2 years ago. And there's a car pulling over the side of the road. I'm just making sure it's not coming up here. I went 100% immediately, 100%. I took all of my money and I threw it at this place. 100%. I have invested a lot, and yeah, I'll talk about those details anyway. But anyway, no, I don't have workers. I don't have workers that help me. I have my daughter and my husband and my son, and my mom has offered. My mom has offered to help me any way that I can, but my mother-in-law actually the other day said, if you need help starting seeds, we'll have mimosas on a Sunday morning and we can do that. Are you watching? Penny? Renee? Where's my mom? Renee? Are you here, mother? Anyway, so that's how Flower Hill Farm was born. And all of the flowers in my logo have a very significant meaning to me. So the garden, I wish I could show you a picture of it, and I will in a YouTube video. I'll probably do like an origin video, like a YouTube trailer, you know how they have those trailers. So the garden, I grew up, I fell in love with gardening 2 houses down from here. My neighbors, Ron and Carol Kornizer, had this elaborate, like arbors, stone walls, fountains, concrete statues. It's still there. It's still there. I was just there the other night walking around and just falling in love with everything all over again. She has the established perennials after 30 years that I'm dying for. Like, I'm dying for them. And I really can't wait to have that. But anyway, so it's a work in progress. When I moved into this house 2 years ago, the only flower that was growing here was the wild yarrow, the Queen Anne's lace, and the Dame's rocket and the tree line. So I'm starting from scratch completely. So anyway, next question. Okay, so wait, I had to answer that question of like how this happened to me. Like, I've always been growing flowers. I keep flower-scented candles in my pockets in my winter jacket because in the middle of a snowstorm, I can pull it out and smell it and be like, it's coming. Spring is coming. It will be here. And that is what motivates me every day in the winter to get me through. And seed starting is obviously a huge motivator. There's nothing like the potential of a seed. Every single seed has the potential to bloom into something beautiful. And when you're holding a handful of seeds in your hand, you have so much potential. It's amazing. I'm addicted, guys. I don't know if you guys are. Okay, so now Emily's question was how I found Lisa's channel. So did my mom comment? Mumsy. I call my mother the Queen Mother. And that started because I got married in a castle. I got married in a castle. My mom had this whole Cinderella thing. So we had like little glass slippers for favors filled with Andy's chocolate. I don't know why I like it, so I don't know, because she was helping me plan my wedding and I was getting married in a castle and she wanted a Disney Cinderella theme. So I was like, Queen Mother. She's in my phone as Mummy Dearest, the Queen Mother. Anyway, so she's Queen Mother. Yes. Okay. Emily. I'm so like squirrel. What? This is me every day. Ask my mom. I won't tell stories, Mom. Tell stories. But Mom, remember that trip to BJ's we'll talk about it. I'll call you later. Oh my God. I embarrass my parents when I was a kid, like really bad in stores because I can't stop being me. Flower farming school. Okay. So when I decided that that's what I wanted to do, I just started Googling, okay, well, who does this? Is this even a thing? Can I even do this? Is this a business? Is this just my hobby? I don't know what this is. So I started finding things. I didn't even know about Florette until after I decided to do this. And then she popped up as a recommended thing on my page. And I was like, what? People do this? And that was like, oh, okay, I'm in. Let's do this. And so Google it, and I Googled growing cut flowers for selling, et cetera, et cetera. And I happened upon a YouTube video that didn't even have people talking. It was a screen. And they were doing like a Zoom or something, and it was just a screen. And I don't even know who it was. I could probably look in my library. Anyway, Mom, hi, Renee. It's my mumsy. Okay. All right. Perfect. Okay. She is in there. Okay. Hi, Mommy. Okay. So I was, like, where was I, guys? What was I saying? Literally don't remember. There's an ambulance going by. Oh, no, that's a sheriff. You know, I don't know what a hobby of mine is. I kind of am addicted. Okay, so you guys know that I used to be a reporter. I'm addicted to looking up what's happening on the 911 log anytime anyone goes by or the whistle goes off, because I can't get reporter Nicole out of my life. She's there. So I'm looking up what's going on right now. Anyway. Okay, so there's an investigation on Woodhull Road in Forceport right now, which is down the road. So it's probably like a larceny or something. Okay. Anyway, so I was watching this YouTube video of these people who were talking, and yeah, Lisa. So it was not Lisa, but someone mentioned, well, you can join the Flower Farmers Facebook group. What? Okay. So I found that, and when I joined that, there were less than 10,000 members of that. And then I was on there, and then I don't know if it was Lisa who posted or someone recommended Lisa's course, but I fell into Lisa's course and I was looking it over, and I said, well, if I'm going to be serious about this, I better be serious about this. And I considered that an investment in my business. So that's it. I just was like, sure. And I don't think I told my husband for a couple weeks because I bought Lisa's course and Dave's course. I love Dave Dowling. I love that man. So at the same time, you get a reduced price. It was like $800 and something for both courses if you bought them at the same time. And they were back to back. And I was like, okay, well, I always kind of talked about going back to school. I might as well go back to school. So I did it. And what I learned in Lisa's courses, business, marketing, where to sell, what to sell. Like, she does have like mini videos. So it's all video based. It's 100% video based. But with each video, not each video, but hi, Dirty Lily. Sorry. Okay, I'm going to collect myself a glass of water. Dirty Lily, love you. So I think it's broken into 6 weeks. So it's a 6-week course, and it's broken into, I actually have it here on my laptop. I pulled the page up and I logged in. So session 1 is starting and sustaining a business. And that has a series of 8 to 10 videos that you watch, and you watch them at your leisure. So every Sunday night, I think, or Monday morning, maybe it's Monday, like once a week, she unleashes the week's courses. So you can watch them when you're ready. Sometimes I would have the day off from work and I would watch them all straight through. I'd sit there for 3 hours and just watch the whole week's videos. And then there are like PDFs and Excel sheets. She attaches some of those things that she uses so that you can use her methods. What else? She talks about legalizing your business, balancing your life, like, because it's not easy. It's not easy to balance your life. And then, okay, so week 2, building and managing. Talks about building your beds, working your soil, making beds by hand, making beds with a tractor, making beds with a tiller, finishing beds, all the flower farming tools that she uses. All right. And then class 3, how to sell. So she goes into your potential customers, florists, farmers markets, customer service marketing, making bouquets. And there's a whole bunch of videos that are bonus videos, like market display videos and making bouquet videos. Week 4, what to grow. So that's where she dives into the individual flowers and tells you the pros and the cons and like little, I'm trying to focus, guys. You found a Zoom video on YouTube. It was a screen recording of a Zoom video. Yes. Well, I don't know if it was Zoom, but it was that kind of platform. Okay. Annual cool warm season, all that stuff, other crops. And then week 5, she goes into how to start seeds, soil blocking, how to do all that stuff, commercial seed starting, germination chambers. She goes into those details. And then she has this, like a seed starting calendar, and that's how she keeps track of when she starts things. She's got, her organization is, I'm super jealous about it because it's amazing. She's got this huge calendar on her wall. I don't know, you might have seen it in some of her other videos that she does, you know, her little lives and stuff, but she has written down on the days, like start X amount of these seeds, start X amount of those seeds, like transplant these out, et cetera, et cetera. All right. Oh, she talks about pinching too. Like what ones to pinch, what ones not to pinch. All right. Harvesting. She's got a whole week on harvesting, and then just a whole bunch of tips. And then along with that, you're in a Facebook group with all the other students, and you get to ask questions, and they do a live every week. So, well, when I say they, I mean like when it was Lisa, it was Lisa. When it was Dave, it was Dave. So every Thursday night at 8 o'clock, I think it was like this, like you would send Lisa all of your questions, and then they would just answer them as they go through, and you could ask questions during the live chat, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not gonna be able to keep up with these comments, guys. Oh my God, I'm not gonna be able to keep up. Oh, I'm scrolling. I gotta keep to my list. I'll look through for those comments in a bit. So I don't know anything about Florette's course. I just know the price of that. And for me at the time, my money, my budget for it, I wanted to take Lisa's course. I want to take Florette's course too. I do, but you have to put your money where you want to put it. And right now I'm not taking courses. My money is going elsewhere now. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Peonies. Who passes? Okay. Purple. Purple asks me, okay, soil mix for flower seed starts. So I use the soil from Vermont Compost Company. It's a mushroom compost. I've used that for soil blocks. It works great. And I also use ProMix. ProMix is more cost effective. You get like the 3.8 cubic huge thing, and it goes a lot farther than one bag of their Vermont stuff. But I got to tell you, the strength of my stems from the Vermont stuff was phenomenal. That was full of deliciousness. How do I fertilize my flowers once I plant them? So I use a foliar fertilizer. That's a tough one, guys. It's a tough one. A foliar fertilizer called Neptune's Harvest. And that is a fish stuff, fish and seaweed. And I use that every week when they're in their soil blocks or the plug trays, whatever I'm growing in. And then also once a week, or, I kind of got slacking. It was like once or twice a month. Once they were outside, I did a foliar spray with my Chapin 4-gallon knock me over sideways sprayer that I love so much. The company emailed me the other day, by the way. I got an email from them. They're like, hey, thanks for mentioning our thing. I was like, hey, you're welcome. But apparently it's semi-local to me. I had no idea. All right. Okay, where am I? How do I keep my flowers looking strong and healthy once I cut? I do not cut in the middle of the day at all. I don't cut in the middle of the day. I mean, I guess if I had to in emergency, I would do that. But I cut early morning or right now. Like I would go out right now and cut. I'm going to have to turn my light on, guys. It's going to be jarring. It's going to be jarring. Okay. Okay. Purple has like 8 questions. I don't know. I feel like I'm going to answer just a couple more. Oh, also you can put flower food. So I have Crystal flower food is actually what my laptop's sitting on right now. I have a big jug of it. I use that, but some flowers you don't use that in. But I know there are a lot of homemade ones. Like I Googled the other day and it said something about using Sprite, and then you can also use like a sugar bleach combination. I don't do that, but I just cut into what? There are holding solutions too that you can find. All right, looking for more questions. Have you ever been confronted by someone that wanted to know how you came up with the price? No. I'm super like kill customers. I'll say, tell me how much you want to pay and I will make you that bouquet. And how do I come up with those prices? Well, for florists, selling to florist, I use the Boston USDA florist price list. Google it. And it tells you not every flower, but it has a lot of the more common flowers, and it tells you a bunch and how much a bunch is going for that week. Like it's updated all the time. And it'll tell you a price range. Like it'll say Lysianthus, bunch of 10 stems, $12.50 to $14.50, mostly $14.50, something like that. So that's how you can come up with your prices for selling to a florist. And then I always think, well, if that's what I'm selling to a florist, then my retail price has to be higher than that. So I just come up with a number. There's no rhyme or reason to it. That's just what I do. That's what I feel that flower is worth. And you know what's helped me greatly is by developing the bouquet bar. I put a retail price on my stems. So now when someone says, I'd like a $20 bouquet, I can say, okay, well, I have this number of this and this number of this. I sell my sunflowers 3 for $5 and my glads 3 for $5. So if they want a $10 bouquet, 3 suns, 3 glads, I know that's $10 worth. I would add more to it, obviously, like with filler and stuff, but not all the time. People want that stuff. They want the suns and the glads. So that's how I come up with my prices, is I just know what I'm selling it to the florist. I know what the wholesale price is, and retail is higher than that. So let me see. I can't answer that. It says, what are the top 10 things that one would need to know? That I can't. I'd have to like think about that and maybe make that a video. Recommend books, YouTube people. Okay. Am I getting too dark, guys? I'm going to need you guys to close your eyes for a second so I can turn my light on. Ready? Close your eyes. Oh my God. Let me move it around. Hold on. Okay. Okay. We're good. Okay. Lisa Mason Ziegler is Lisa Carey. She owns the Gardener's Workshop. It is a cut flower farm in Newport News, Virginia, I believe, Zone 7. And she has been flower farming out of her backyard for over 20 years. And she's kind of, she speaks on the subject across the country. And she's one of the first ones to take flower farming and turn it into like a career and a business, really. So anyway, Kira, you're making friends in the comment section. I'm so happy. Also, take advantage though of like Florist. Look, I look like I'm like greasy now. I'm not, guys. I swear. And it's just the way the light's bouncing off my hot spots, my tea. So Florette and Lisa all have free stuff. They have free stuff, free workshops that you can watch, free bouquet videos and all that stuff. I think Lisa's live right now. Nobody leave. I'm just kidding. You want to leave? Go leave. So she goes live all the time. I don't know if she does a Q&A style, really. That's kind of more for her students. But she talks about starting seeds and soil blocking, yada, yada, yada. Okay. Books, classes, other YouTube people that I watch. Okay, so I have to be 100% honest with you. I am literally working 80 to 90 hours a week between my 32-hour like regular job. I work 4 days a week for schools. And then I freelance for insurance companies I do a voiceover video for insurance companies. Yes. So I do a voice and I do the editing for them. That takes a lot of my time. I do freelance photography and video work for anybody. Like I just did one for a local wedding venue. I did a video for them. I did a senior photo shoot on Sunday. And then all the editing that comes along with that. And then the flower farm. I can't even count the number of hours, but I usually put in 14-hour days on the weekends. And then what else do I do? YouTube. I'm YouTubing it. And that takes a couple of hours. Like, you know, sometimes it only takes me 15 minutes to shoot a video, but that's not true because none of my videos are that short. So it at least takes me as long as the video is. And I'm a pretty decent editor. So like a 35-minute video is going to take me less than an hour to edit it. But the more complicated it is, the longer it takes. Like if you guys want me to put pictures in of everything that I'm talking about, that takes forever. Which I don't mind doing that on the videos where, like, when I'm talking about what bulbs I'm buying or what perennials I'm ordering, that's justified. But if it's just a video of just me and I have my favorite music tracks, I have them right there on my desktop. So it doesn't take me that long, 25, 35 minutes to edit together a video. So more complicated it is, plus I don't, I take breaks. So what's everybody saying? What's everybody talking about? I feel like I'm left out. Go down all the way. Anyway, all right. We have, okay. So what I was talking about was what YouTubers I watch. Okay, so here is who I watch on YouTube. I watch, and please, y'all watch her. Ding, 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 ding. Laura from Garden Answer. I love Laura. I love her family. I think she's adorable. She has a totally different style than me, and I appreciate it. I think there is room for everyone in this YouTube life. So Laura is a sweetheart. I love her family. And she is gardening on such an unrealistic level that it's like stuff dreams are made of. So I just watch it for inspiration. And I think that's what everybody does. They watch it for inspiration. Like, oh my God, I want that fountain. I want that $10,000 concrete fountain. I love Laura and Aaron and Benjamin and Chet. What? Oh my God, what's the cat's name, guys? Help, the cat. She had 1 million subs today? Oh my God, I've been waiting. I watched a little bit of, I just watched a little bit of her, what video was she doing? I don't remember. I watched a little bit. Cheddar. I was going to say Cheddar, and I okay. And Russell. Yes, Russell. I knew it started with an R, and that's why I was like, wait, it's not Cheddar. Okay. All right. I love that cat. They always like Aaron must walk around with a camera in his hand at all times, which I do too. So I get it. But he catches like Russell at the perfect spots. It's amazing. Okay. Jess from Roots and Refuge. I started watching Jess like 3 years ago when she didn't have many subscribers at the time. She popped up as a recommended video and I was like, I like this girl. I love her tattoo that says Wilder Still. That spoke to me. I kind of want to get it. I don't have any tattoos, but I get that. Anyway, she speaks to me. I love her family. And I love Sweet Maya. They're a great family. And then Erin, the impatient gardener. Sometimes she just cracks me up. I just like her. I feel like we would be friends. Russell's probably her Brad Pitt. Yes, Lily. Yes. So Erin makes me happy. I like watching her. My favorite one, I don't know if you guys saw this, but she had to do something. She had to trim a tree and she didn't want to do it. And so she's sitting there in a chair and she brings up this thing and she's like, it's a gin and tonic. I need it. And I was dying laughing. I couldn't take it. It's little things like that, you know, those little quirky things about people that you're just like, yep, I like you. Grapefruit seltzer water, not gin and tonic. Okay. So I also watch Charles Dowding, guys. If you guys are not following Charles Dowding, you have to. He is across the pond and he is a vegetable gardener. He does grow some flowers. I just love that man. The bugs are coming out, guys. I'm going to have Brad Pitt bring my sweatshirt out. So he has a no-till method that's amazing. And he inspires me a lot. Plus, he's got an accent that is amazing. It's really great. I think he's French. Hoodie, please. Texting Brad Pitt. It's in the dryer. That's where it is. I wanted to put it on, but it was in the washer, so I had to put it in the dryer. And it's been like an hour, so I think it's ready yet. I do follow, I know like You Can't Eat the Grass. I haven't watched Serena's videos in a few months. I honestly haven't watched many videos. I watched Erin's Dahlia video today while I was like putting my makeup on and drying my hair like this morning. Her Dahlias made me jealous. So Serena and I think it's Ian from You Can't Eat the Grass. I watched them, but I haven't watched them in a few months. I think they're a nice quirky family too. So, all right, where am I going here? Next question. Wait, no. Books. This has no words in it. It's called Gardener's One Line a Day. And my sister-in-law bought me this last year for Christmas. And it's a 5-year book of garden memories. So every day at the end of the day, I will keep it on your nightstand. You open it up and just write one line about your garden that day. Whether it's roses came today. Got snapdragons in the ground. It's just like a little personal thing that you can look back on. And I love it. All right. This is a vegetable gardening book. Clearly, you guys all know what this is. This is Cool Flowers. The author, Lisa and Mason Ziegler. Are the words backwards to you? Because that bothers me. I don't know why the cameras always do that. So she is the teacher who I took the class from. I got this book. Renee, did you buy me this for Christmas? Did you buy me this for Christmas? Good bug, bad bug. It was awesome. It's great. So you're like, oh my God, what is that bug? Not a good page to open up to. There's nothing there. Oh my God, it's a cabbage worm. Oh, is it good? Is it bad? She tells you. It's written by Jessica Walliser, and it's got a ton of bugs. And I love the way it's laid out. It's almost like a recipe book. Like that's what I think about. Spider mites. I have these. So how do I take care of them? Preventive actions, organic controls, more about. And it's great stuff. There were spider mites on my David Austin roses that got shipped. Just saying. Who's texting me? It's Brad Pitt. He said it's still wet. I'm getting cold. This is not a flower farming book, guys, but I love mushrooms. I love, like, another part of this journey for me is just because I'm obsessed with everything nature. I will spend hours when I have them walking through the woods and finding mushrooms. I don't eat them. I just like to find them and identify them. Lisa Mason Ziegler. Vegetables love flowers. This is different than, oh, cat hair. This is different than cool flowers because it's not cool flowers. It's her warm season annuals. And so celosia, sunflowers, zinnias, and it's all like tips, tricks, like how far apart to put your rows, how far apart to put your beds, days to bloom. That's my favorite fact is days to bloom. And that's how I build my calendar, guys. Anyway, I have that. This is my private book. It's just a notebook. And then I have Florets, A Year in Flowers. And then I have her cut flower garden too. It's down there. And then Dr. Alan Armitage's specialty cut flowers. I also have his Vines and Climbers book because I love hardcover books and it's beautiful. It's just beautiful. And there's just a lot of packed full of information. And then Floret's other books here on the bottom. I also, the Flower Farmer book, like, you know, the Flower Farmer book, I got that out from the library and I returned it. What's her name? Her name is escaping me. Guys, help me. The original Flower Farmer book that was published in like 1991. Help. Help. Somebody's going to know it. Okay. What was the other question? Lynn. It's Lynn. I love that. Okay. Somebody's saying thrip in the comments. I haven't had to say it once. Okay. Would you consider doing a teaching class every 4 months or so? I am a student. Is it ready? He's bringing me a sweatshirt anyway. Where's Brad Pitt? Thanks, babe. Oh my God, I'm getting chilly. What's the temperature? I know, but I'm literally asking what the temperature is. Cold. Oh my gosh. It's 59, so it's not cold, but it's cold. 59, guys. Summer's over. Okay. It's Brad Pitt! Lynn Bazinski, yes! Yes! Thank you. Okay. Okay. All right. Stephanie Whedon. My question is, did you buy any courses? Yes, Lisa Mason Ziegler's. What would you recommend as far as learning before you get started? Learn your market. Learn your market. Learn who's going to buy your flowers because that will tell you what to grow. When I initially started, I thought I'm selling to florists. My florist, and I have only one. I have one florist that I sell to because I have not grow up. That's not true. I emailed one in Rome once and their inbox was full. So I didn't get a response. I could have called. It was like a night where I had harvested like 200 gladiolas and I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do with all these? So I quick shot an email to a florist half hour away. And apparently the guy already has a local grower that he buys from. Gina found that out for me. Okay, so know your market. My strategy, my business plan has shifted from selling to florists to selling bouquet bar style because that is what's working for me. I feel like I'm part of the product. The connection that you make with people is like, that's a huge part of your business. You might have the most beautiful flowers in the world, but if you're not making a connection with your customer, you might not sell them. So it's really important that you know your market and know where you're going to sell to. And the reason I'll explain why I'm not selling so much to my florist. My hometown is a town of 2,000 people. We have a florist. When she buys stems from me, she buys small quantities of stems. She's not putting in orders of $200 to $400 a week. She's not. She will call me because she's adorable and I love her. And she'll say, Nicole, do you have 12 white gladiolas? And I'll say, yes, Mrs. Trainer, because I call her Mrs. Trainer. Because, so this is my hometown. I grew up here. I know these people. I was on the local news. The local news is not this small town, but we have such a small town and we're so connected. Everybody knows everybody. I know everybody's mother's names, birthdays, addresses, home phone numbers, all that stuff. So how did I approach my florist? They actually know. They reached out to me first. They heard that I was starting Flower Hill Farm, and I got a message from one of the women that work at the Florist, and she said, Nicole, do you think you have any purple gladiolas today? It's like, yes, I do. Would you like me to deliver them? So that's how that happened. That's not normal. Maybe eventually I will get to the point where I want to reach out to the cities that are half hour, 45 minutes away from me and sell to them. But I don't know. I'm really enjoying the bouquet bar. I'm enjoying the camaraderie and the togetherness that the flowers are bringing and the happiness, et cetera, et cetera. Yes, Leonard family. Yes, I do want to do that. Hosting parties. I actually want to do like a porch thing with like where you come, like, you know, the paint and sip parties. I think I said that in a video before. Yes, I want to have like 12 people buy a ticket. You come with your friends and you have a glass of wine and you make a bouquet. You know, so stuff like that. I definitely want to do that. And I actually have some friends who, I have a friend who has venues. She does calligraphy, and we've talked about possibly doing something together and stuff like that. So, oh, and another, like, Tabitha is a local flower farmer. She's about an hour away from me. Tabitha Hool Flower Farm. Check her stuff out. She's hosting at her farm, I think, like a painter coming in, and they're doing like a watercolor painting while sitting in her flower field. I thought that was a really cool idea. Would you sell at florist prices to event planners or wedding planners? I'm not sure. I did have a local wedding venue buy some sunflowers from me for a rehearsal dinner, and I sold them at retail. It depends. You know what my answer to that is, Nancy? Depends on how many they're buying. If they're buying 5 gladiolas, they're paying retail. If they're going to buy 50 gladiolas, I'll give them a wholesale price. That's my answer. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but that's my answer. Thank you, Kristen. Okay. What was I doing? Do I have a schedule or a calendar that I use? Okay, so Lisa Mason-Ziegler, part of her course, you get an Excel sheet that she uses, and it has already on there the flowers that she grows and then her schedule for when to start seeds, like succession planting, et cetera, et cetera. So you can download that Excel worksheet and you can plug your own stuff in there. So what you do is you put your own frost dates in, because your dates are in, unless you live in Virginia or something similar to where Lisa lives, your dates aren't going to match up. So you have to put in your frost date and then calculate that way. So what I spent a few weekends doing in the winter, I think it's in this notebook. If not, I'll just have to explain it. I spent a few weekends looking at days to bloom packet and counting when I wanted those flowers to bloom, and then right here it is. Like this, like it's all chicken scratch. Scabiosa, starflower. That's one of the flowers that died, by the way. 6-inch spacing, 90 to 95 day bloom time. So I started seeds on April 3rd, April 17th, May 1st, May 15th. So I knew July 3rd I would have them, July 17th, July 31st, August 14th. 50-foot bed, 6-inch spacing. I did this for all of my flowers. I stopped here. I didn't do all of them. Sunflowers, 50 to 60 days. I put on here, start every week through July 10th. So from May 1st to July 10th, I started 300 sunflowers a week. Bradley Dean, I already answered your question. It was earlier in the video. I did answer about the lilies. Brad, I hope you don't mind me calling you Brad. It's my husband's name. I had to cut to the ground, so I don't know if my lilies are coming back next year. Traditionally, if you have a good pristine growing conditions, your lilies are going to get 5 feet tall, so you don't have to cut them to the ground. I don't think I left enough on the stem for the bulb to regenerate to flower next year. I don't. I'm going to leave them in the ground and find out. But if you're growing them in ideal conditions, they grow taller than that, and then you only cut them 18 inches down, and you don't have to. You're fine, Brad. You're fine. How did me and Brad Pitt meet? We're high school sweethearts. I met him at freshman orientation. I was wearing literally the outfit from Clueless, a black plaid skirt, and a shirt that said "Wild Child." And he was, being the jerk that he is, he was roaming the halls during freshman orientation as a senior, making fun of kids, because that's what seniors do, right? You have to pick on the freshmen coming in. But so yeah, we didn't end up dating. He was my best friend for 3 years. I did not look at him in any way other than best friendness until he pulled a prank on me 3 years into our best friendness. And he pretended that he got in trouble. You can read between the lines there. And I wasn't going to see him for a while. And I flipped out. And it was a prank. And 4 hours later, he pulled in my driveway. And I was like, why don't you do that to me? And anyway, so yeah, we started dating that night. And then it's been it was May 9th, 1999. We started dating. We got married on June 9th, 2006. So we were engaged we got engaged. I was engaged in high school. So anyway, okay, that was a question that popped up in the comments. So anyway, yeah, we've been together for 21 years. I'm only 27. Don't get it. Oh, where am I? Oh. When do you decide to pull plants? When I no longer like the stem it's giving me. I haven't pulled the plant yet. Stephanie, I have so much acreage. I'm not pulling anything. I'm just putting in a new row. That's what I do. Next question. How do you keep yourself, Leslie, how do I keep myself organized? I don't. Trick question. Okay. I literally don't. Okay, so how do you track or plan for the seeds? I ordered way too many seed varieties for the coming year. Same. And staying on top of when to start seeds, when to transplant, what to pinch, what not to pinch. So that's one of the things I like about Johnny's seeds. Tanya, you have the same notebook. One of the things I like about Johnny's seeds, and they're inside, and I don't have them with me right now, but it says, and Florette too, on the back of her seed packet, it says if you pinch it or not. It says like how many days it'll take to germinate, like germination, 10 to 14 days at 65 degrees. So it's telling you. Melissa, I know your question. My favorite color is green. And I'm loving Lisianthus right now. My favorite flower. Sorry, her question right there. I'm loving my favorite flower, rose and brown Lisianthus. How can you not? How can you not? My favorite flower of all time is Dame's Rocket, and I've said that a million times. I need more coffee. Brad Pitt needs to give me more coffee. Brad Pitt. So Melissa, you got your question in. I know it was on here. La, 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 la. I don't keep track of, like, I just keep starting seeds. My basement in January, February, March, and April is an insane pile of dirt and seeds, and it smells like poop because I'm using Neptune's Harvest. It stinks, and my dog loves it. Like, every time I open up the Neptune's Harvest, my dog is at my feet. Please get me coffee. Refill coffee. People watching this back are going to think I'm absolutely crazy. Wait. That would make sense. Where do you buy your bulbs? Fancy subspecies. So I buy my bulbs. I've done a video about this in the past. Nancy, what foliage? I go on websites and I look up foliage. I really like the foliage. I love all the foliage. I bought way too much foliage. No, you didn't. No, you never have enough foliage. Okay. ADHD. Not kidding. Where am I? I don't remember the question though. Where do you buy your bulbs? Edney Glockner is the main source of my bulbs. I know other people said color blends might have some cheaper prices at lower quantities, but I have established a relationship with Dave Dowling as my cut flower representative at Edney Glockner, and that's the first place I turn to. I also will buy bulbs from DutchBulbs.com, which is K Van Burgundundundun. Thank you. Axel Raymond. bringing my coffee in for a refill. Okay. You spilled it? Just get a towel, babe. Just get a towel. So DutchBulbs.com. I used to buy, I'm not dogging on any site. I bought for years from Michigan Bulb and Brex. And that was when I was landscape gardening. I buy much, much, much larger quantities now. Okay. Lila, do you have a question? Lila. I'm reading through everyone's comments from the way. Okay, so I do have, okay. Nope, Lila just was talking. Hi, Lila. Okay, definitely get your peonies going. Okay. How do I price my flowers? I already answered that. Okay, my question is, how do you keep basil from wilting in arrangements? Rachel, I keep basil from wilting in arrangements by harvesting it 24 hours at least before I need to use it, keeping it out of the refrigerator and keeping it in water and letting it hydrate. Once you see the basil go limp, don't panic. Usually, I would say 85% of my stems come back. There are just going to be some weak stems. So when you cut it down at the bottom, it's going to have a bunch of side shoots. Take the bottom ones off because that's draining the plant. You don't need that many stems on it. So just leave the ones that are at the top and then have a longer stem so that the plant doesn't have to work so hard to get water. Okay. Selacy, S-E-L-A-C-Y, Lacey. Okay, so she's question about weeds in the wildflower patch. She said she tried one in a hayfield and it was an embarrassing fail. Okay, weeds in the wildflower patch. The way I prevented weeds in the wildflower patch last year was by seeding super heavy. I used 4,000 square feet worth of, thanks, babe. It's perfect. I used 4,000 square feet worth of seed in a 50 by 20 foot patch. Overkill? Yes. Did it look good? Uh-huh. That's how I prevented weeds in the wildflower patch last year. Learned my lesson by not doing that this year. I bought 20,000 square feet of seeds, maybe 40, maybe 20. I don't know. And no, it was 20. And I spread it all over the wildflower hill. I did not pack in the seeds the way that I did the year before, and it's showing. I have a lot of milkweed coming up, stuff like that. Okay. Looking. Okay. I am not going to attempt to overwinter my Lysianthus. I'm in zone 4, but I know what you mean, like digging them out and bringing them inside and putting them back out. I cannot do that. I'm way too cold here, and I don't have that much space. This is from the Old North Farm Garden and Soap. And what are my lessons that I've learned about growing Lysianthus? She asked this question. So I learned that you have to baby them. And because of the few stems that I did get, it's worth babying them. I'm starting thousands, tens of thousands of seeds in the basement, and you forget to water a tray, or you're not home when you think you're going to be home, or the dog gets into the tray, or you're moving a tray and it tips over. You have to baby them. And now that I know the end result, I'm going to baby them. John, yes. Do I plan to be a full-time flower farmer down the road? I hope so. I think it definitely has potential to turn out that way. Oh, and then Gina, no, Gina's keeping her secrets tight. Yes, Young Lee, I have considered buying Lysianthus plugs, but the gratification that I get when I start something for seed cannot be purchased. I don't think I would be as proud of the flowers. I hate that. If you get plugs, go all for it. Also, it costs $8 for however many seeds, like a few hundred seeds. And it costs like $68 for 72 plugs. So plus shipping. Okay. All right. Where do I buy my glads in bulk? I buy my gladiolas in bulk from Fred Nagels and Son. Fred Nagels. I think I have his link in one of my videos, my gladiola videos. Okay. Text message from Brad. Oh, our neighbors are having a fire. We're invited. Okay. I already talked about Lisa's school, Sean and Margaret Finn. If flower farm is something that you want to do, you should take Lisa's course. Especially if you're a beginner. If you've never grown anything before, take the course. All right, I'm just going through the questions, guys. I don't think there's a question there. Okay, so Melissa, I'm back to your questions. What about the material? Oh, you're just talking about Brad. Just have Brad build a hoop house. Okay. Okay, so how do I ensure there are no bugs or bees in my flowers? I don't. I cannot ensure that I do not have bugs or bees in flowers. I can do my best to prevent them, and I do that multiple ways. I'm using the organza bags on the dahlias. I have neem oil treatments. I have props, guys. I've got props. Captain Jack's dead bug. It works. You just have to be religious about using it. You can't use it once and say 3 weeks later, there's bugs on my plants. I don't understand. I used dead bug. Did you use it every week? You got to be faithful to it. Okay, let's see. Let me look through the comments. Any questions here? Do I soil block or start plug trays? I do both, Jamie. Most things I soil blocked. I do plug trays for sweet peas. Actually, I did sweet peas in plug trays and the 2-inch soil blocker. And then I do sunflowers in plug trays. Okay. Yeah, Kay. I do my best to get the bugs out. I don't really have earwigs hiding in the petals. I really don't. Bees, yes, especially on sunflowers when they sleep, because I'm harvesting early in the morning and late at night. So the bees will sleep inside the petals. I actually did find a couple in my dahlias last year, and I actually brought some in my house accidentally, like the little tiny bees. I brought some dahlias into the house, and they were hiding in the curls. Like, I don't really know unless you organza bag them and like organza bag all your flowers, which, gotta be honest, if you have 20 dahlias and you want to organza bag them, go for it. But when you're working with 2,000 stems, it's hard to keep up. Oh, really? Are you, DC? Sitting by a fire pit now? Can't wait to get there. Do you really notice a difference if you harvest during the hot part of the day out of necessity? In sunflowers, 150%. I will cut a sunflower in the middle of the day. I will bring it in, and its head will be drooping down in 45 minutes. And I know, I love that your bouquet. Oh, thank you. I only do the bouquet bar at my house, Jessica. The drooping sunflower, I know that there's the trick where you stick the stem in the boiling water. I haven't done it yet. Leonard family, I don't know yet. Leonard family is asking if it's going to be a high tunnel or peonies. I don't know. I can tell you that I ordered 120 peonies this week. But that's not, that's not it. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, so how do I respond to folks who say $20 is too much for my bouquets? I will say, what would you like to spend? I will make you a bouquet size like that. So I've had people that say $10. I've had people come on my bouquet bar and make a $5 bouquet and be super excited and walk away with a big smile on their face. That's why I love doing the bouquet bar, because it's not making people uncomfortable. They're coming and spending what they want and picking out what they do. Were you zoned to sell off your porch? Do you need any licensing? I do not need licensing in where I live. No, I have a business license and I have farm insurance. I have liability, but I don't liability where I can have people walking like through my flower fields. I don't have that. I am digging up my glads. I cannot treat them like, oh, my connection is unstable, it says. Please wait while we were trying. Am I still here, guys? Am I still here? We'll see. Okay. At maturity, one will produce. So Diane, your comment about my peony plants made me really rethink the peony hoop house thing. So you were started to talk about, so if I have 230 peonies at maturity, each one will produce about 40 stems. Can you sell that money? That's like 5,000 to 6,000 blooms. So that really made me, yes, Melissa, I'm digging at my dahlias. That really made me think. Thank you guys. I says I have full signal on my hotspot. So I'm sorry if I'm cutting in and out. I'm sorry. It's over there. It's got a really strong signal. Okay, so your comment, Diane, really made me rethink, not rethink, but like revisit whether or not if I needed 500 peonies, because that would be an insane amount of blooms unless I had a wholesale account, unless I had a wholesale distributor where I would get like 5,000 peonies out at once, because I know some of you guys do that. There's that peony farm in, Alaska. I follow her on Instagram. And she's amazing. Anyway, I'll find her. Okay. Okay, all right. Sorry, I'm looking for question. A question for live video. How are my David Austin roses doing? Horrible. Horrible. One died, two died completely, and 3 look great. There are no roses. But I'm told, and I think Jess from Roots and Refuge says this too, her David Austins did not perform the first year. The second year in, they perform well. And David Austin Roses has a 5-year warranty. They're sending me replacements for the 2 that died. Fantastic company. Fantastic. No questions asked. I had to send them a picture. I literally sent them a picture of a dead stick in my pot. And they're like, yep, we'll send you a new one. Okay. Missy Edwards, just one simple question. Will you be my best friend? Yes. Yes, Missy, I will. Flower friends. Oh, okay. What's the question? It's hard because like everyone's saying hoop house peonies with a couple of paragraphs, and then there's a question. Okay. Reading through. Gomphrena neck bending down. Yes. So Amelia asked why her Gomphrena neck was like this, and they're not straightening for her as they mature. Mine took forever to do it. Forever. They just started last week, and now they're sticking up straight. But yeah, for the longest time, but they get woody. Once you notice they start to get woody, and even if the side ones are droopy, cut it, rip the side ones off. You'll have the one beautiful Gomphrena standing up straight. I can actually show you what I mean. I have one right here. It's actually one of Gina's. Oh, Gomphrena! So if this, say, was like this, just rip it off. Just rip it off, and then you'll have the one that's standing up straight. Because when you harvest the Gomphrena, I cleaned these up so you can't tell, oh, this one's got. When you harvest it, there's a ton of stems on it. There's these stems, there's these stems, there's these stems. You can take, if they're not standing up straight for you, you can take them all off and just have the one nice one on top. So many Gomphrena. I have an overabundance of white ones right now, and I'm definitely planting them again next year because, yes, I don't know about Gina's, but mine is. My white ones are a QIS thing. The white ones go with everything. I love them. Every bouquet, I've just been putting them in. Okay, all right. Is foliar fertilizer better versus liquid? Foliar fertilizer is liquid. Okay, so the other, I like Laura from Garden Answer, you guys see her do that. You put the Plantone or Biotone or whatever, Espoma or whatever products she's using, you put that in. Yes, Gina says that as the QIS. I don't know if that's an acronym or if it's KISS, whatever, but thank you, Gina. So, I don't remember where I was. What was I saying? Gina! Oh, the foliar. Yeah, so the Neptune Harvest is liquid, and you measure it. It's concentrated. You pour it into my Chapin, mix it with water, and then spray it. That is a liquid fertilizer. Okay. question. Oh, so CSA. Oh, Jessica and her 9-year-old daughter, Charlotte, have a question. Charlotte wants to know where I started to sell my flowers. Charlotte. Hi, Charlotte. I love that you want to grow a million flowers. And I love your question. I started selling my flowers to friends and family. Those were my first customers. I'm sure you have a lot of friends and a lot of family members that would love to buy your flowers. So I started, when I originally started, I used a Facebook page. I created it and I shared it. One of my marketing strategies is giveaways. Share, like, and comment for a free bouquet. Share, like, and comment for the first tulip bouquet of the year. Share, like, and comment for $20 credit at my bouquet bar. People love free things. So, Charlotte, my very first bouquet of flowers that I ever sold was to a family friend. And then they post it and they tag me in it. And people comment, oh my God, they're beautiful. Oh, where'd you get those flowers? Ooh, fresh flowers. I want flowers for my table. And it rolls. And around me, nobody's doing this in my hometown. I have Kara 7 miles up the road. We were in Lisa's class together. So me, Kara, and Gina, all within 45 minutes of here. Gina's about an hour. We all three were in Lisa Mason Ziegler's course, had never heard of each other before. Kara opened up Spring Creek Lavender, which is 7 miles down the road from me. And she also does cut flowers. So she's got a lavender farm and does cut flowers too. It was so like, what? This is a worldwide, people from around the world are taking this course. There's only a couple hundred people in Lisa's course and 3 of us, boom, right there. So I have yet to meet up with Kara. We've been messaging back and forth, but we're going to meet up very soon. So, but people, like, flowers are meaningful to people. They have connections with them. And I know, Charlotte, you're going to be a fantastic flower grower and seller. People are going to want to buy your flowers. Hello. Guys, if there are any negative comments in there, you just let me know. Can't even get to all of them. Gina fan club. I want Gina. So Gina doesn't have a name. Gina, I'm sorry. If you want, like, text me if you don't want me talking about you so much. I love you. She doesn't have a name for her farm yet. And she doesn't have any social media presence. And I want to do that for her so badly. Gina does make the best cameos. So I want to help her, like, with her social media and her pictures and get her marketing out there really bad. Really bad. Love it. Okay. Okay. Eve May. Eve May. Eve May. I love your name. Behind the scenes, video editing, cameras, YouTubing. Okay, so I actually have been YouTubing. I think I posted my first YouTube video 6 years ago, and it was at my old house, and it was a walk through my old garden, and it's deleted, so you can't see it. But it was just me walking around. I'm not talking. I'm just showing you things, and it was kind of bleh. But the past year, I've just been, you know what? If I'm going to do it, I'm just going to do it. So it's great. I'm enjoying it. I can't believe this community. You guys are fantastic. I love you guys. Like, the camaraderie that I feel with you guys. And then there's April, you know what I mean? And there's Gina and Melissa. You guys, you comment all the time, and I feel like I'm getting to know you guys at the same time. So it's not just a one-way street, guys. This is my camera. This is my microphone. It's a Canon ADD. I did a whole video on it. But this is what I do. And this, I don't want to turn. It's so bright. That's a light ring. I have one of those because when I'm in my basement, it's a YouTube Big O portable. It does have batteries. I didn't buy the batteries to go with it. I use that in my basement because of it's really low lighting in there. It was like 130 bucks on Amazon. I can put the link down below. And then I use a MacBook. Adobe Premiere Pro is what I edit with. It's not for beginners. I've been editing for college. Since college, I've been editing forever. So behind the scenes, I have some tripods. I really want to get a good vlogging stick. I'm searching for one, and I can't seem to nail it down. I keep asking Jess during her lives, what do you use for vlogging? But she never answers me. Thank you, Melissa. Okay. And does it take a long time to edit, and how do you fit that in your day? Well, guys, you notice that I kind of only post videos on like Thursday nights, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I don't have time during the week when I'm working my other job in farming. So Kendra, I talked a little bit about my pricing. There's a Boston wholesale USDA florist list that you can Google, and they have prices for stems for wholesale prices. And then I just make it more expensive for retail. And you have to know your area. You know, I can't sell a dahlia for $6 here. Just can't do it. They don't that's just not where I live. Jen, I have 0 questions, but I will be on Sunday with my margarita and some chips. Thanks, Jen. Yeah, approach grower solution about getting a sponsorship. Wouldn't that be great? Thank you, our Red Dirt Life. Invest in the plants now. Wait, that's not it, is it? No, they were loading. That wasn't it. Oh, God. What varieties do you think make the best cut flower? Peonies. I cannot speak on that because I only had between 25 and 30 blooms this year, but there is a peony growers Facebook group, and you can join that, and they will have all of your answers. There are actually other people have already asked that, and there are lists on there. It's a great group. Peony growers. Okay. Oh, Kira, you're the sweetest. Kira keeps asking how to support me. She wants to give me a few dollars towards my peonies or a hoop house, to do a Patreon or a GoFundMe. You know, I don't want to do, it's not that I don't want to do a Patreon. I can't do a Patreon right now to the level that you guys deserve. So maybe in the future, I can do a Patreon to the level that you guys deserve. But right now, charging people for content, I can't do it. I can't do it. Thank you. Thank you. She did? Carrie? Jess did a whole gear post? Sorry, guys, gotta go. No, I'm gonna look that up after. Because I can't find something that gets far enough away from my face. We have not talked about zinnias yet, April. I'm also having a love-hate relationship with them. I love them when they look good, and I don't. No, Jen, nobody has offered me a sponsorship. No. I can tell you that Dr. Armitage sent me a couple of his books, and thank you. They're so great. I love all of his books. He has a book right here. Oh my God. Of Naked Ladies and Forget-Me-Nots. These are the stories of how common names of flowers came to be. I love it. I was reading, I was like crying. I was like, ah. Like, for instance, did you hear me beep to you? Who is that? Who is that? I heard somebody beep. I don't know who you are. Lucas, is that you? Okay, so this has all the stories of research. It's really fantastic. Maybe in a video, I'll read you guys a couple of these stories, and I love them. I won't do it right now. So yeah, I mean, there's ways that you can support the channel, Melissa. Thank you. I have gear, but honestly, guys, I don't make money off the gear. I make like $1. I actually, please, no one go buy this because I lose $3 every time someone buys it because I don't want to charge people like a crazy amount. So it's $7 for the cup and it's $7 for shipping, and I'm only charging $14.99. So I like lose money. I don't even care. Right, Lily? Let's say, like, I don't want to give you away, but I know who Lily is. Lily has a code name on YouTube. It's good. Okay, so thank you for wanting to support me. I think there are ways, like there's a super chat on lives and stuff like that, but really feel no need to do any of that. Maybe eventually I'll have like a Patreon or whatever. Thank you, Melissa. Charge the right amount. What flowers are my florists begging for? So my florist buys for me. She wants all of Gina's Lisianthus. So I know she'll be buying that. But like, she's going to buy what, 10 stems? So that's not my market. It will. I mean, I could reach out to other florists, but I was having my CSA I needed to sustain that. So gladiolas, sunflowers. They bought a lot of tulips and a lot of narcissus in the spring. They would have purchased my peonies had I had them. What have they been buying right now? They bought some snapdragons earlier. Did they buy snapdragons? Was that snapdragons? Gladiolas. I mean, I love gladiolas, and gladiolas give the height and structure that are needed in arrangements. You can't hear me anymore. I am doing more retail than wholesale, yes. Melissa, I'm also applying for that scholarship. I have not planted Emery Paul dahlias. I am VIP. Yes, you are a VIP. Okay. Anyway, logically, I would have said this. Blah, 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 blah. I'm trying to see if Shilpa had a question. I don't see a question in there. How was my experience with succession planting your lilies? Jenny is asking me that. It was horrible, Jenny. It was horrible. Because I planted them only a week apart. I would definitely do that a longer interval between succession planting because I had them all blooming at the same time. They catch up. Different varieties have different days to bloom, and I didn't know which ones had which, and it doesn't really say. It just says like 65 to 95 days. So I will not plant them a week apart in the future. So what the heck? Who just did that? The hobby home. Oh my God. Thank you. I'm going to cry. I brought tissues out here. You're adorable. Thank you, Shilpa. Thank you. Lilies. Yes. So same thing with gladiolas, guys. The gladiolas I planted 1 week apart, and that was just too close. And I have all 4 beds of my gladiolas, which my 5th bed is coming up. It's shooting up beauties. Don't want to wipe my nose like Grandma. Grandma doesn't want me to. Sorry, Grandma. Mom, I can't read the comments. Renee, do not lecture me during my live chat. Renee, Queen Mother, Nicole, someone kept asking how I deal with failures. How I deal with failures is I push them aside and I forge on. That is how I deal with failures. I've had 1,000 failures. I've had more failures than I've had successes. April, I'm going to do 2 weeks. I'm going to do 2 weeks between lilies and 2 weeks between gladiolas next year. I had so many things die on soil blocks because I didn't have the time to get them in the ground. Truth. I just told my mother-in-law and my mother this week that I'm probably going to hire someone for like 5 hours a week next year to help me get stuff in the ground. I don't have the time to get it all in myself. And then maybe have someone help me harvest 5 hours a week or something. So it's so much at this scale. It's a lot for one person to do. I have had enormous failures. My bachelor buttons this year, they were doing so good, but I couldn't get a stem that's longer than 10 inches. I gave them a haircut. I went down there with my clip and maybe they'll come back. Don't call it a combo. Sorry, guys. I gotta stop saying stuff like that. Embarrass myself. But anyway, they are coming back, but they're short stems still. My larkspur is beautiful. It's actually been blooming for 6 weeks, but I can't cut it because there's too much bug damage. Can't. Oh, another thing about Lisianthus, because it's my favorite flower right now. Oh, you guys, 6 and 6, thank you so much. The Lisianthus has 0 bug damage. It is underneath 18 inches of frosted explosion grass. The carnations that are next to it are covered in thrips, and I can't even cut them because they're so disgusting and covered in bugs. There is not one bug on a Lisianthus. There is not any damage to these. None. This is my champagne. This is my gold. Nothing. Thank you, Lizzie. That's a Tori Amos song. Anyway, so, oh yes. So who said that? Jen. Yes. So Jen, April. Thank you. Guys, I'm gonna cry. Jen, you just said something about get a horticulture student. So my day job is I work doing photography and video for a school, a BOCES, and I don't know, it's a technical school. So we have a conservation class. I can get an intern from that class to come to me. Yes, Tori Amos, yes. And that's what I want to do next year, is have one of the conservation students who's interested in horticulture, and they are there. I know them. I'm in these classrooms. I don't know if I'm going to be able to be in the classrooms this year with my camera, but they do a lot of stuff. They have bees right on our campus, our conservation students. I gravitate to that class and those students, and I make connections with them. So I actually have done like a whole video on their bee program, and they make wreaths and they do all these cool things. So that's my plan, is to have the one of the conservation students be like an intern, you know, and who knows, like, I don't know if they allow a paid internship, but anyway. So where was I? I don't even know. Okay. You were April? I'll do that. Thank you. Oh yeah, like the live stream. I don't know how I like liking. I think just the more likes I think that you have, the more YouTube will recommend your video. I think that's what it is. Like, it recommends you to. And I don't know who thumbs down my videos, but I don't care. I'm not losing sleep over it. I think it's my brother. I think it's my brother. My sister won't watch my video because she gets embarrassed. I'm the oldest. I'm the oldest of 17 grandchildren. I have one brother and one sister. But yeah, my sister gets embarrassed. She can't watch me. All right. I'm trying to get to more pictures. We're going through more photos, guys. I'm going through questions. Lori Dunbar asks me if there's anything that I wish that I had known 2 years ago when I first started out. The good, the bad, or the ugly. No, you know what? I don't wish that I knew. I don't wish that I knew how all-consuming it would become. And I mean that in a good way. I'm consumed. And I'm welcoming the consumption. Swear to you, all day long, my favorite sunflower right now is the Pro Cut Gold. I'm consumed 100%. And I wish that I would have known. I don't know if there's anything that I wish that I would have known. I wish I would have known if I just maybe got things in the ground when I should have, how much more success I would have had. I wish I would have known that I would have had a 5-week drought. Wish you would have known that, because I would have invested in irrigation, but I couldn't even do irrigation, guys, because my well went dry. I have a well. Even if I had irrigation, my flowers were still going to die because my well went dry and I couldn't even do laundry. That's why the water tank is the best solution for me. All right, rant. Okay, how I marketed my flowers, I talked about that. How did I sell my CSAs? It was one of my coworkers. I used to work at a library. After I left television, I had a series of small jobs for a little while, and I worked as an administrative assistant at a local library, and I learned so much there because guess what I did? I read books. I took out all the homesteading books, and I would sit at my desk because my job was to answer the phone, answer emails, proofread her stuff, whatever. So I would read all of the gardening books and all of the homesteading books and all of the how to raise chickens books, because that was 6 years ago. I've had my chickens for 6 years. I was going to get goats, but Brad Pitt said no. I'm going to win him over on that one. So my stem length is that I won't grow anything that has a stem length shorter than 12 inches, preferably 18. Sorry, trying to answer questions as they're coming in, Carrie. But yeah, so when you're ordering flowers, you can look at when you're ordering flowers, it'll tell you the link 18 to 24, 8 to 10. Some tulips are short. Make sure you look. I accidentally bought 50 hyacinths that only have an 8-inch stem. Too late, bought them. It was a mistake on my part. Okay, follow-up question. Okay, CSAs. My first CSA was one of my coworkers at a local library, Lori. Lori was my very first person to buy a CSA, and I just I marketed it on my Facebook page, and I just said, I'm selling 5 weeks worth of fresh flowers for $100, and if anybody's interested, let me know. And it was the year before I was selling, so it was like the November before. I think I did like a Black Friday thing. So one person. I had one person, and then I opened it up around Mother's Day, and I sold out. I more than sold out. I was only going to take 10, and before I knew it, I had 18 members. I have a hard time saying no to people. So people are like, oh, I missed out. Is it still okay? Like, yeah, it's okay. Sure. And then somebody bought 3 because I forgot to turn off the inventory on the website. And somebody bought 3. So yeah, I ended up with 18 CSA members, and I have Dirty Lily. Still has 2 left that she bought 6 months ago. It's okay, Lily. Not mad at you. But my CSA structure is changing next year. The way that I did it this year is that when the first blooms, you got 5 weeks. You could skip weeks when you wanted to. So who's beeping at me now? Is that ADK Hunter, Adirondack Hunter? People are beeping because it's got to be Lucas. It's got to be. Anyway, so I'm changing the name of it. It's not going to be a CSA. I'm going to call it my Flower Friends Bouquet Club. And I'm going to do 2 parts. I'm going to do a first bloom through June 30th and July 1st through frost. You have however many weeks in there, you get 5 bouquets. So you can't skip and skip and skip and skip and skip and skip and skip. Because I had so many customers were waiting for like the sunflowers and the dahlias, but they bought it in April, May. I missed out on the opportunity to sell a second set of CSAs. So, but that's how the bouquet bar was born. So my mistake, I had to turn that into something else. And that's how the bouquet bar was born. So I'm good with that. Like, love it. And bouquet bar is not like a grand idea that I thought of. I've seen other, like it was something that was somewhere, you know, like I saw it somewhere. So anyway, yes, April, people bought it that far in advance. You bought a bulb auger? Yes. So Melissa, I don't know how you would do it specifically in Australia, but you know, you just market it. You just make sure you have enough flowers. There were weeks that I didn't have enough flowers. There were weeks where I had to just email a couple of my members at a time and say, interested? Interested? And when they said no, I would say interested to the next person, because you have to have enough flowers to make 18 bouquets a week. There were some where I just didn't have that. So I don't know, Melissa, how you would specifically do it in Australia, but maybe if you're new, if you're brand new and you've never done it before and you're planning a small patch, do 5 CSAs. Just do 5. All right, I was looking through for questions. Mom, let me know if I'm missing anything, please. Renee, she's my administrative assistant. Who's coming out here? Hey, Bob, you can come out. It's Axel. What's up? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can go get ready and we'll probably do that. Yeah. Okay. The neighbor boy is asking Axel if he's coming to the fire. So I'll probably wrap it up here in like 20 minutes. So do I grow lavender? Not really. I have 28 Russian sage little spires, and they all came back this year. I bought them all on clearance. They were $3 a plant from Walmart. I think it was Walmart or Lowe's. It was Lowe's. And they all came back, but not all of them are flowering. 2 of them are flowering. Guys, the bugs are attracted to my YouTube light. They're bouncing off of it. Anyway, so yes, I grow lavender. My soil is kind of sandy out there. I'm not sure what kind of soil that they like. You can look up and see if they have like a preferred pH. Usually websites have that information. I don't think they love a ton of water. Okay. Gilda, your sunflowers are covered in ants? I don't know. I don't have that problem. I actually don't deal with ants, but I know a lot of people use cinnamon. Okay. Elliot. Question. When you grow your cut dahlias, how do you get them to produce longer stems? I pinch the dahlias. And I did an experiment this year. I did like 2 rows. I like cut off, I pinched 1/2 of the row and let the other one to see if there was a difference, and nothing grew. So I can't even tell you how that experiment went. But yeah, pinching, like Florist has a great video on how to pinch dahlias, and that's her method for getting longer stems. I had long stems last year, and I didn't pinch my plants, but a deer came and ate the top off of them all, effectively pinching them for me. Thank you. Those deer. Yes, Shelly, you can debud. Okay, so Dahlia. This is one of Gina's dahlias. See this? Like debud it. Like, thank you, Shelly. So you can like debud the side buds, and that will give the one that you leave more energy to grow taller. Okay. Thank you, CA. You missed that. Oh, that's Young. That's CA is. Thank you, Young. You're welcome. Oh. All right. Questions. Okay. Gio and Mamina Cipollone. She has a silly question. She said, why didn't you call it the Red Barn Flower Farm? Sorry for asking this silly question. It's just she really likes the Red Barn. You know, I really like the Red Barn too, but I'm probably going to paint it gray. It doesn't match anything. It's, you know, my chicken coop. Okay, so story time. My chicken coop is in the back, and it's red, matching the Red Barn. But it was it was my playhouse from childhood. My father and I built it when I was younger, and my brother and my sister. And when I lived here, it was my playhouse in the back. It wasn't painted. It was just a playhouse. It was just a square structure with a roof, and we played in it for days and days on end. And then it just so happened that it survived the 21 years that we didn't live in this house. And when I bought it back, I turned it into my chicken coop, and it's still there. But Jeff, the man who lived in the house before, painted it red, and he installed that Red Barn. I don't not like the Red Barn, but I want it to be gray, I think. So that's not a project I'm going to be taking on for a long time anyway. Okay. All right. I'm trying to catch up. The pipe cleaners with the lilies. I have not tried the pipe cleaners. I went and got, before any of you guys said pipe cleaners, and there some florists said that too, which, by the way, I had a florist from Massachusetts come to my bouquet bar on Saturday. Yeah, I always ask, where'd you guys come from? Because I'm just curious where everybody comes. And she's like, well, I follow you online, and I'm from Massachusetts. I was like, what? But her mom lives about 40 minutes away. So she just happened to be visiting her mom. And she was like, Mom, let's go check out Flower Hill Farm. So it was nice. Okay. All right. Where are we? Okay. That's why I didn't call it the Red Barn Flower Farm. And isn't You Can't Eat the Grass? Isn't Selena's farm called the Red Roof Flower Farm? Or I think it's just the Red Roof Farm. Family farm, maybe. Something with red. How did the lavender, to Dirty Lilies. How did the lavender do? Lily, I sent you a picture of the lavender. You know how it did. The lily, I sent her a picture of the lavender. She's one of my bouquet members. So I do have some flowering lavender that I got on clearance last year. How is the fall crop of sweet peas? Not good. Out of all of those ones that I planted, I have 2 that are still living. It was too hot. Sweet peas are a cool weather crop. Lesson learned. I still have a couple that are alive, so we'll go with it. Can we book wildflower photos? I am only doing a couple of private flower photos, Lily, but and I'm the photographer, and that's like, you'll be paying for me to take pictures. I'm not letting anybody just go back there with their cell phone and take some shots. But if you want me to take your picture, Lily, I will. Devil's advocate. Oh, psh. And then she goes into peony hoop house stuff. Okay. More people asking about flower school, which I already talked about. And then what are my must-have flower farming tools from Tabitha? Tabitha, you don't need to know everything about nature before you start doing this. That's one of her comments as well. So I would say neem oil, my dead bug, my cool flowers, and my flower books, Atlas gloves. These gloves fit like a glove, and they're perfect. My Dickies belt, my $14.99 Dickies belt, 5 pockets. My whiskers. There's a bug on my forehead. My other whiskers, they need to be cleaned. These I use for cutting gladiolas and sunflowers because they have thick stems. Some dahlias too. Pretty much use these for everything else. I lost these the other day because guess what? My Dickies belt, I think it's in my room. I don't know where it is. But the Dickies belt, because I need to carry these things with me. Look, I need another one of these. I have peony for my pop socket. It's fading because I'm on it so much. Pop socket is a must-have flower farm tool. So because I can walk like this, like armed with my phone and my clippers. Okay. So, what else? Oh, like a really good hoe, which I use the weed faux hoe. Flower netting, landscape fabric. I am landscape fabricing everything next year. It's just happening. Neptune's Harvest or some sort of organic fertilizer. Heat mats, seed starting supplies. You can do this with $300 seeds and seed supplies. You don't have to buy $8,000 worth of tulip bulbs or $2,000 worth of gladiolas or $800 worth of dahlias. You don't have to do that. You can make money with seeds and the dirt. I think people must be able to start watching this from the beginning because I'm getting comments referring to the beginning of the video. Can you do that? How many varieties of flowers am I planning on planting for 2021? I cannot effectively answer that question because I'd have to count all of them. I would say too many. How many square feet do I grow on? I don't really know. I'm guessing between 2 and 3 acres. And you're welcome, CR. Hi, Fin Farm, the Fin Farm. I don't think they can see me right now. Maybe, I don't know. If I decide which fabric, can I post it? I'm using the 6-foot wide fabric that Florist recommends. Don't buy it until I do. April. Don't buy it until I do. Oh, you can rewind the live. Thanks, Leonard family. Okay. Okay. I sounded like Blue's Clues just now. I'm reading. I think I'm almost through. I have some Instagram questions that I have to get to, and I also have some in my email. I don't think that I have. I'm going to have to do another one of these, guys. What do you think about next Sunday? Same time. What do you think? Because I can't get to everyone's questions, and so I can focus. If you guys want to do it again next Sunday, let me know, and I'll do it. My nose is running. Okay, so Nadia is asking if people prefer pollenless flowers. I don't know that people necessarily prefer the pollenless flowers, but the sunflowers create such an amount of pollen that it stains. It stains. So if you have a tablecloth and all of the pollen falls in a vase on your counter, that tablecloth is effectively stained. I have 6 ruined table runners myself. That is actually why I started looking for pollenless flowers, because when I brought them in my house last year, it was staining my table runner in my dining room. And that is when I went to go look. So I also think, I think pollen is romantic and it's beautiful and it's what a bee needs to pollinate everything and what it feeds and eats and turns into honey and all that stuff. But I think for flowers, especially for event flowers, you do not want anything falling onto the table like that. And honestly, if some people will have allergies to it as well. Okay, not sure if I got to everyone's in there. What does my flower farm day look like, April? Well, I get up and I go outside and I walk around and I see what needs to be done. And I harvest usually every morning and every night. I know, so Lisa Mason-Ziegler only harvests 2 days a week. And then the flowers that don't make it in between, don't make it in between. I'm not there yet. After 21 years of flower farming, I might be, but I'm not there yet. I'm like, oh my God, the flower's ready. I go cut it. One sunflower, cut it, bring it inside. And then I go to work most days. I am working remotely 1 day a week. It was 2, but now it's 1. Tina, I will try it. I think we'll do it. Do you charge florist delivery? No. Nope, I don't. And I'll tell you, that is a relationship building thing. She's only 5 minutes from me, 7 minutes, and I deliver. I go in their back door. I bring in my bucket of flowers. They're so cute. They're like, Nicole! And I bring in the flowers. We ooh and we ah, and she always gives me more money than I ask for. So. Your charger, florists. Your charger. Trying to understand, Tina. No, not delivery, just pricing stems. Boston, USDA, Boston florist wholesale prices. If you Google it, it has a list of wholesale prices to charge a florist that day. Like they update it all the time. I hope that makes sense, Tina. Yeah, April. I don't. April and April. April. My sister-in-law's named April. She bought me this book. What was the site again? So you Google Boston USDA, United States Department of Agriculture, floral wholesale price list. Like it'll come up. It'll be the first thing. I don't know the site off the top of my head. I always just Google it because it's in my memory of Google. So all I have to type is Boston and then I go to it. How do I learn what I should sell? You said know your market. What does that mean? Well, who are you going to sell to? If you're going to sell to florists, call and ask. What are some flowers that you have difficulty getting that you would be interested in buying locally? And some florists might say, not interested. And other florists would say, oh, you know what? I'm having a really hard time locating XYZ flowers this year. Maybe I would be interested in buying some of that. And also where you live, you have like a price. Like I'm not selling, I mean, I have, but I'm not selling $50 bouquets on the regular. That's not my market. They're going to go to a florist for that. Like there's a difference between like me who is selling a $15 or $20 bouquet to set on your table and a florist who's making a gorgeous $100 arrangement. There's a difference. And that's what I'm doing. My biggest success this season, Joan. I'm gonna have to think about that, but I would say my biggest success this season is the bouquet bar. That was my biggest success of the season. My tulips did fantastic. And I think partially because of the coronavirus, it was that time where everyone was sheltered in place. I did doorstop deliveries. People needed it. They needed it. And that's why I think my spring season was as successful as it was. I think I got bit on the eye. It's itchy. Amanda, I live about half an hour from a city, a small city. It's small, but it's, 40,000 people. Let me Google. 62,000. So I live next to Utica, New York, half hour away. It's actually more like 20 minutes. Oh, I swear I got bit. And It's 22 minutes that way, and they have 62,000 people. So however big that is. And then Rome, where I do already have established customers, that's smaller than Utica. What is my, okay, all right. Do I grow delphiniums? Yes, I do. I grew some delphiniums this year, and they had a lot of bug damage. The Japanese beetles love them. They're still beautiful, and they're in my field. I have a ton more for next year. I bought a ton more. Did you guys see me get bit on the eye? I got bit on the eye, and it's itching like crazy, and I didn't notice it. It must have been visible. I have to rewind and check it out. What is my favorite, most profitable dahlia? Can't tell you that. Last year, it was a cactus, like a cactus dahlia. It was a purple and white cactus dahlia. It was something favorite, Star's favorite, maybe. And then this year, I don't have any profitable dahlias. Pink Pearl is my most profitable dahlia this year because it's the only one that's throwing stems. Would I be interested in doing flower spotlight videos during your off season? Tips and tricks on a specific flower. I mean, maybe. I do have, guys, just because my bouquet bars are over with doesn't mean my videos are ending. I have a laundry list of video ideas that I want to do for the off season. And there's a special series coming up that I'm not going to tell you about. I'm not going to tell you about it, but it's going to be pretty cool. And it's not going to be just me. It's going to feature a few flower farmers. So I'm excited about it. Okay. Yes, Jenna. Yes, Jenna. I am going to be making videos. I plan on starting some seeds in December. And I have content. Guys, I have to plant 8,000 bulbs and peonies and a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm bringing you guys with me for that. Also, a video that I'm going to do is I ordered a crap ton of perennials that are coming in the spring. I haven't gone over that with you guys yet. I haven't gone over my seeds with you guys yet. Those are all videos that I can do. Yay! Melissa, I love cactus dahlias. Amanda, you live in very rural Louisiana. So, Amanda, I only have 2,000 people in my community. There are 2,000 people in my hometown, and I am selling all of my stems at a bouquet bar. So, okay, let me go check through. And I think Angelique sent me Instagram questions. Let me go, because I can't be on that much longer. It's been almost 2 hours. Okay. Instagram, my eye itches. Guacamole. Angelique. Oh, Angelique has a million questions. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to answer them all, but let me look. Okay. Where and how did you get your eucalyptus seeds or plants? They were all seeds. I started my seeds. I bought them from Johnny's Seeds. How did I come up with the CSA bouquets in the beginning? That was one of the things that I learned in Lisa Mason-Ziegler's class. Can I please list what plants need to be pinched for most production? But I'm not going to go through the whole list, but things that you can pinch are like snapdragons, dahlias, basil, zinnias. There are things, celosia, but there are certain celosia that are one stem, and if you pinch it, you're done. And usually you can research each flower and stuff like that. Right, April? Okay. There's a ton more that you can pinch in it, some that you can't. How did I decide to become a flower farmer? I went over that in the beginning of the video, but I've always been in nature. Ask my mother. Like I said, I spent my childhood growing up on this property in these hills, running around. I remember one time I like ran and jumped and rolled down the hill. This major spider in my face. Whew, it's crazy the things you remember as a kid, right? But most of my memories here are of the flowers that grew in the tree line, and those were my inspiration for a lot of what I'm doing today. Do I farm by myself or with the help of family members? Brad Pitt runs the tractor. And that's about all Brad Pitt will do. Like, he does the watering. He's like a major, major help, but he's not weeding with me. He's not planting with me. He's not starting seeds with me. He's sitting there watching me and we're having a conversation, but he, like, that's just like my thing. Like, I do it and he watches and we talk, and he'll run the tractor. He does the tilling and mowing in between the rows and stuff. Actually, a neighbor of ours came over and tilled the wildflower field because we have a small tractor. So our tractor, his was a lot bigger, so it was a lot less time. Where do I buy all my bulbs? I have a video on that. Do I need to cover or protect my roots during winter? No, I mean, some people, like for peonies here, some people will put like leaves or wood chips around the base of your peonies, but no, I don't do that. Dahlias I have to pull because I'm in zone 4. Gladiolas I have to pull because I'm in zone 4, and I do not protect anything else. How many acres of land do I use for my farming? So I have 20 acres plus 60 acres, and I only farm on a couple acres of it. I don't know the exact, I didn't measure out. I just rows, just keep putting them everywhere. I did plant down the hill. I don't know if I told you guys this. Down the hill, I planted 100 pussy willows, 100 winterberries, and 25 witch hazel plants this spring. So, and the pussy willows are doing amazing. 6B ranunculus. I think ranunc and anemones are 7, but 6B, I'd try it, Tina. What's my zodiac sign? I'm a Sagittarius. Sagittarius is like a, that's me, saggy. My birthday is December 2nd. I was born 3 weeks late. Oh, April, you guessed it. I saw it. Yeah, I'm a saggy. Your birthday is the 16th? Nice. All right, looking for more questions, guys. Oh, I think I'm done with that. Let me look on my email. Hey, babe, are you getting ready to go over? You can go before me, and I'll just come over on the other wheeler. We ride 4-wheelers everywhere. Okay, so story time. So I have this house. My cousin lives next door. Another cousin, which was my aunt and uncle's house, lives next door. And then my childhood, my dad's best friend, my mom's best friend when we were growing up, and then their kids live next door, and then they also own another property. So there's like 6 houses and 600 acres of us. So we have, everyone has 4-wheelers. We have cabin in the middle of the woods. Like we're just together all the time. It's basically a little community, and we're kind of the only ones that like, you know, it's coronavirus season. You're not supposed to like gather and have whatever, but the group of us has been together the whole time. So it's nice to have, like, social distancing is hard, guys. Like, hard. Oh my God. Okay. I'm going to cry because I just thought last night I hugged my mom for the first time in 6 months. Woo! Right, Mumsy? Yeah. First time in 6 months. Okay. Fish Emulsion Seaweed Fertilizer. Debbie, do I put my Dahlia stems in hot water after I cut them? I never have. I heard that works. I just don't do that. I love you too, Mom. Yeah. I literally hugged her like 5 minutes. Okay. Scrolling through. Emails. I have emails. And then I think I'm about done. And then we can do it again next Sunday if you guys want to. I know Annette sent me a voicemail. I'm afraid to listen to it on here. Annette, should I? Annette, are you on here? Pat, you watching me the 82 inches? Pat Healy sent me a couple of emails, and he watches, him and his wife watch my videos on an 82-inch screen. How big am I now? Oh my God, I just sounded like Rumpelstiltskin from Once Upon a Time. The Disney show on ABC. That's on Netflix now. Okay, sorry guys, totally squirreling it. Okay. I can't find the messages, guys. Audrey Wolford. Audrey lives in Phoenix, New York, which is fairly close to me, about maybe an hour and a half away. How do I get lilies to bloom in September? I succession planted my lilies, Audrey, and I planted them in intervals so that I would have blooms throughout. And I actually have more that I probably will have lilies for the next 3 weeks, which I might have frost next week. So you never know. Okay. All right. Let me look quick. Do Japanese beetles. Japanese beetles are hideous beasts. They are green colored. They're green colored and they eat everything here. They are an invasive species and they look like my phone's not being cool with me, but they look like that. They are brown, green-headed beasts of destruction. Oh yeah, beast of destruction. They're thrips. Do you plant 2 to 3 eye peonies? Most of my peonies were bigger. Most of my Nicole. Is that Nicole or Nicole? Nicole. I've never seen Nicole spelled that way. Nicole Lockwood. I love that. Mosquito. Do I plant 2? Yeah, most of mine were 5 to 7 eyes. I bought from Swedish Touch Peonies. I bought from Adney Glockner. And I believe that was, no, I bought some from Eden Brothers. I don't think the ones I bought from Eden Brothers were the species or the variety that they said they were. Okay, 3 years, Nicole, to get peonies off a new plant. I do not have beehives on my property, Lisa. I have just bees. I mean, I have natural beehives on my property, I'm sure. They're somewhere. When I was a kid, I remember seeing a beehive swarm through the property out the back window. I was like, what is that? It looked like a tornado when it was bees. But I have wild bees here, but I do not have any beehives. My husband's actually allergic to bees. Stings. I have to go start seeds. Kira. Kira, thanks for joining me. Yes, the Finn Farm Japanese beetles were horrifically bad this year. You're in upstate New York? Where are you guys? Yes. So funny you say that. My neighbor 3 houses down has a vineyard with, I think, 30 grapevines. And it was her husband's and he has passed away. And so she asked me if I would take charge of it last year and decimated the vineyard. Decimated it. Okay. Tina, I think that you can succession plant snapdragons, but there is not a need to succession plant snapdragons because different varieties bloom at different times. So you can start them all at once, and one variety will start blooming in, say, June, another variety will start blooming in July, another will start blooming in August. So look up the varieties and the days to bloom, and you don't need to succession plant your snapdragons because the varieties will do that for you. Japanese beetles, I use neem oil and dead bug, Captain Jack's. Oh, in Saratoga County. My husband's family is from Washington County, so we drive through Saratoga to get to Greenwich. That's where Brad's grandparents live. Oh, and the Finger Lakes. Yeah. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, Lacey. Okay. I'm sure I missed questions, guys, but I'll just have to get to them next time. I'll have to get to them next time. So anything else before I log off? It's been 2 hours and 3 minutes. Is there anything I wanted to say? I might have written something down before I ended. I don't think so. I think that's it, guys. Thank you so much. This was awesome. Like, it was my first YouTube live, and I didn't know how it was going to go. I didn't know if anyone was going to be here. And you guys have been amazing. Thank you so much for your questions. It really has been fun. And guess what? I went 2 hours and 3 minutes without swearing or without saying anything or I didn't even sneeze, guys. It's crazy. I did cry. It's my mom's fault. But this works. But I know like 4 or 5 of you sent me dollars, guys. You sent me dollars, making dreams come true, guys. And I just want to remember, like, you guys remember, like, I'm not a pro. I am a student. I'm learning every day, and really just happy to share my journey with you guys. So, yeah, give me some ideas for like future videos, because I'm coming on with them, right? Okay, I got some ideas. You want to hear my ideas? I don't know where it is. Oh, you guys want to see something? This is my geo order. 1 page, 2 page, 3 page, 4 page, 5 page. I don't know where the video ideas are coming, but I have a lot and I'm excited to share them with you. So, oh, One question I did not address with you guys is, do I make a profit flower farming? So I was fortunate enough to already have a lot of the things needed. We already had a tractor. My husband and I bought a tractor for $5,000 8 years ago because I've been gardening my whole life, and I had a huge garden at my other house, nothing like this, but it was a decent sized garden nonetheless. And we used it to till, and I made raised beds. So I already had a tractor. I invested last year in bulbs. That fencing was this year. So am I making money flower farming? Yes. Am I making a profit? At this point, any money that I'm making, I am turning around and putting back into my business. Okay. So I'm not like, you know what I bought? I bought a camera, but that's an investment in my business because part of my business is my YouTube channel. That's part of it. So part of Flower Hill Farm is my YouTube channel. It's my Facebook page. It's my Instagram. It's all the marketing because I'm part of the product. I think it's important that you connect with your consumers. I liken it to your hairdresser. Is your hairdresser the best hairdresser around? Or do you just really like them and you enjoy spending time with them? They could be the best hairdresser in town, but you have that connection with them and you keep going back to them because you feel connected. And that is what I want my customers to feel with me. I want them to feel like they know me and that they are my friend. We are flower friends, guys. And that is how I want my customers to feel every time I hand them a bouquet. That is what's important. So if I did not have another job and freelance, maybe I wouldn't make the investments that I'm making right now, because the investments that I'm making right now are so that I don't have to in 3 years. I want to be doing this full time in 3 years. I don't want to be doing anything else. I don't. I want to be home. I want to be here. I want to be with my kids. I want to be able to make my own schedule. I want to be my own boss. I don't work well for others because I have too many ideas and I can't be contained. So that's my story and I'm sticking to it. So am I making money? Yes. I'm taking all of that money and putting it back into Flower Hill Farm. So that's it. That's my story. Okay. It said, Nancy, what's a thrip? I didn't even say the P word. No, I didn't. So yeah, it was between all the bulbs and the hard, like the landscaping fabric and all that stuff, it adds up. I spent $360 on a roll of Bio 360. So Mark, I hardened stuff off for about 4 days on my porch. Bye, Lily. Good night. So yeah, 4 days on the porch. And then I bring it out to the garden in the sun, transfer it. That's how I harden things off, is 4 days on my porch. Because the porch, the sun hits it for a couple of hours in the morning. So that's my hardening off. So, all right, guys. Maybe we'll, same time, same place next week. Meet me on the porch. Okay. I'm going to end this thing. Thank you, guys. Have a great night. Good night, Yam. Good night. Good night, Jenna. Bye. Mwah.